Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Roser with 2026 Airline. Vikings wide receiver Kenny Darby, one of the top pass catchers in the state, not just for his class, but for anybody. We'll talk a little bit about some of his prolific junior season right now, as well as his great undefeated run so far for his Airline team, as well as what the latest is for him on the recruiting trail. It's been a really busy fall for Kenny and the Vikings, and so a lot to get into. And, man, I haven't seen you in person since, I guess, this summer. Appreciate you taking some time to talk about it all. And how's everything been going?
Everything been going great. Been working.
What's it been like? I guess we'll get into some of the college stuff. And for folks that hadn't had a chance to see yet, you had been committed to Mississippi State for a few months. You reopened your process on Sunday night, already have a fresh new offer. And we'll talk about some of the college stuff toward the end of the conversation, I guess. But for you to be back out there with your guys this fall, after last year, you showed flashes in the 4 games you had of what you brought to the table, but then were sidelined with the injury. What have these last few months been like just to be back out there and doing what you love?
It's been great. Me and my quarterback, we had a good relationship last year. So it got better. And then I got another wide receiver duo. So, it's been good.
What is so special about y'all's group? Because y'all put up crazy numbers pretty much week in and week out, and folks certainly know to watch y'all's 1-5A district. There can be a lot of shootouts and whatnot, but y'all in particular, the last couple of years have been able to score with anybody in the state. What makes this offense so special?
It makes it so special because, you got me, Jarvis Davis, Aiden Baker, the tight end, and Ben Taylor, the number 1 quarterback in the state. It makes it so special because if they could put their best DB on me and double team me, but you got other people that's good and they could do the same stuff I could do. So you can't just double team me because the other people could be open.
A lot of those guys around you are 2025 guys, and so they're guys that are a year ahead of you. What's it been like not a young guy now, but a year younger than them? What's it been like to kind of come up behind them and learn in some spots from them? What's I guess been the biggest thing that you've been able to gain from learning from some of those 2025 teammates?
It's they teach me a lot. Like they teach me a lot. Jarvis, he teach me stuff. That's the 2025 wide receiver. Jarvis Davis, he teach me a lot.
You mentioned the relationship too with you and the quarterback Ben Taylor, a Northwestern State commitment, and it's not even up yet, but y'all's touchdown pass on kind of the fade ball toward the sideline, I put as one of our play of the week candidates this week. And my co-host on that show said, look, when you talk to Kenny Darby, let him know when I'm playing the games and everything later, and I start catching touchdowns in the back of the end zone and stuff like that, I'm just going to shout him out on the microphone or whatever. But yeah. Y'all's timing on some of these plays, particularly a lot of throws to the end zone where it seems like he knows where you're going to be and can trust he's just going to put it to a spot. What is the work behind the scenes been like, the relationship with you guys been like to get to a point where y'all have that kind of connection on Friday nights?
Yeah, so we go to the field almost every day. We work on this. Like at practice, I tell him, throw it to me if you ain't got nobody open. Throw it to me. I'm gonna go get it. Like, yes, sir. He believes in me and everything. And that pass, he looked at me, I looked at him, and then I told him, I said, I did this right here. And then he just threw a back shoulder and I caught it.
Your confidence level on plays like that, do you remember when it started to click for you? I mean, is that something you've just always had that, look, if it's me and a guy, even as a young guy growing up in like park ball and stuff, I'm going to be the one that comes away with this? When are some of the first memories you have of knowing that even if there's some coverage there, you're going to find a way?
I mean, I had this since I was little. I like the ball in my hands at all times.
What's coming back from that injury last year? What was the process like for you to get back to this point? And we saw, when I was up there with you guys at 7-on-7 tryouts, and I guess it was still December, you were seeing that you were already kind of getting back to that point where you had that level of confidence. What was the process like for you to work back from being sidelined, probably having some frustrations along the way of not being able to be out there on those Friday nights, just to get back to, okay, you know what? I'm back at it, and I haven't missed a beat?
you know, it was hard because I had to sit out the games and I had to watch and I couldn't be in the games. My trainer told me that to take it easy, but I ain't take it easy. I go home, I do my own stuff. I actually went to the field with a hurt shoulder and I was trying to catch the ball and everything to get back early, and I did.
I know, I mean, early on in 7-on-7, you were kind of working back through like, nicks and bruises and a little bit banged up and just wanting to be back out there. Your numbers in those 4 games last year, I kept putting in Prep Red Zone articles as 35 catches for 561 yards and 9 touchdowns. And so all of those averages in terms of per game and per catch and everything were all sky high. I mean, as high as anybody in the state. And then you come back, and so far this year through 9 games, you're at 75 catches, 1,330 yards, and 20 touchdowns. So you're right up there. Same ballpark, even a little bit higher on a couple of those numbers. For you, from last year to this year and being able to do it at this consistent level for almost a whole season now, what has been kind of the biggest step forward for you, or the biggest area of development that you have felt that, as talented as you were early on as a sophomore, you feel like you've kind of grown now as a junior?
You know, when I was a sophomore, I work every day. Like, I go to the field, with my QB, and we'll put in work. I run every route in the route tree. And then coming into my junior year,
It's more or less just being back healthy, being able to be consistent. Yeah.
is
Do you have areas that you look at as kind of your next steps for you that are kind of areas that you really focus in on and say, okay, here's something I know can be kind of the next step for me as a wide receiver as I continue to improve my game? Are there things that, whether it's stuff you're able to kind of hammer on during the season, or it's stuff that that you're going to be looking at this off season, just kind of priorities for you moving forward?
is there?
What you got?
My speed. I gotta work on it. I gotta get faster. I run a 4.5, but I'm trying to get to a 4.4. And, my releases, I gotta work on that too.
For you guys now, you had a great season last year and you made a deep playoff run, but I know just from hearing from you guys, or I had my guy Brett McCormick was at y'all's game on Friday and talking to some of your teammates, and there's this clear emphasis that y'all want to take the next step as a team. What is the outlook for y'all as we get into week 10 this week and then the playoffs ahead, for what this group needs to do well to reach your ultimate goal? I guess first of all, what is the ultimate goal, and then what is it going to take from you guys to get there?
The goal is to go to the dome. It's going to take a lot. We just gotta go to practice, work hard, don't take no breaks, and just keep going. And when it's time for the game day, no mistake, just work hard and go play full speed every step.
When you see games like Friday night and the defense stepping up in some spots, I mean, there have been times this year where people wonder, are they playing defense in 1-5A the way that the offenses are moving up and down the field? When you see games where y'all's defense gets to kind of showcase its potential, and Jaden Gladney, your teammate, was one of the guys I was talking on the Louisiana versus All Y'all channel this weekend about how much that meant to him to be able to show that there is some balance to this team. What does that mean for you guys to see those guys that you're working with every day, it click for a little bit, as well as them to start getting a little bit of their due?
Oh yeah, our defense, it was off and on at the beginning of the season, but they start getting a hang of it, and they start, yeah. So they go against us every day. We make them better, so they starting to get better, and we stopping the run. They're not gonna be able to run on us no more.
It's got to make you guys feel that much more confident going into the playoffs to see them go in there and have a performance like that, huh?
Yes, sir.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the college stuff too. I mentioned you had been committed to Mississippi State since early June, I believe it was, and then reopened your process on Sunday night. Talk me through kind of what went into that and just where you are with the recruiting process overall. Again, reminder to folks, you're a 26 guy, so you've got a whole other year and change before you have to ultimately, make a signature. But where you're at right now, and what made you feel like you needed to kind of take a step back, what kind of went into that conversation or that decision?
Yes, sir. I thought about it. I was thinking, and I think I decommitted. I committed a little too early, and so I decommitted so I could open my recruitment and see what's out there to experience more. You know,
What had stood out about Mississippi State initially that made you feel like that was, a place that you were that interested in? And do you view them as still in the mix for you moving forward?
Yes, sir, I do. It was the coaches I had went to their camp, and they'll hype me up and everything, and we had built a relationship from that, and then I felt like it was home, so I committed.
Who have been some of the other schools that have been most heavily involved for you over the last few months, whether places you've had a chance to maybe get on some Saturdays for some game days or just, staffs that have continued to reach out to you or to Coach Scoggin and make sure that you guys know that they have interest in you?
LSU, Tulane, um, Arkansas State, and Missouri.
And then I know Miami had the offer on Monday.
Yes.
What was the word from them? What had stood out about you so far that made them want to make sure to join that list and kind of put themselves in the mix?
My confidence, how I can go up there and get the ball, and how I got good vision and good hands.
Yeah, I mean, your ability to go up and get the ball. When I saw you in December, I told you right away how impressed I was with your ability to go up over defenders and get the ball. And so I think that's something probably a lot of these schools are really excited to watch some of these highlight reels and whatnot. What's the relationship been like so far with, you mentioned LSU, the home state school? I know you were down there for camp this summer and we had a chance to see you. What's kind of their communication and the relationship been like so far with the Tigers?
It's been good. They'll text me every week, and every game day they'll text me and wish me good luck, and then we'll chat from time to time. Me and Coach Hankton.
I was going to ask, is it a lot of Coach Hankton? Is Sherman Wilson involved? Who are some of the coaches do you talk to mostly there? Is it mostly Coach Hankton?
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm going down there this weekend.
I was going to ask about that. It's going to be a big one. It always is when Alabama comes to town, and going to be a lot of really talented prospects there. What are you expecting to see when you get down to Baton Rouge on Saturday and it's college game day in town and it's one of the most pivotal games in the country and all those things? What's your expectation for this weekend?
I'm expecting them to throw the ball deep. I want to see everything deep. I want to see I want to see the fan base going crazy and everything.
Have you had a chance to get down to Baton Rouge yet this season?
No, sir, not yet.
Have you had a chance to see any of the games from kind of afar? Maybe the Ole Miss game a few weeks ago or anything?
Yes, sir.
What was that like to watch or see clips of or whatever? The LSU's doing some kind of different things with the game day experience now with all the light show and all that stuff now.
Yes, sir. It's been crazy. Their running back been going crazy too. From Duncanville, it's been crazy.
Yeah, when you watch those guys on Saturday and you see a guy like Caden Durham, who he'll still be if you were to end up going to LSU, he'll still be there theoretically by the time you get there. When you watch that offense in particular, what do you see from them that kind of catches your attention about the way they're going about things, other than obviously, Caden showing some flashes here as a freshman?
Is there how explosive they is? They so explosive, And Kyra Lacey, I see like he played just like me. He got so much confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And he want the ball to him every time.
Did you grow up watching LSU? Was that kind of the school as a kid that you grew up watching, or was there? Yeah, LSU.
Yes, sir.
Who were some of the first guys you remember watching there when you were, first turning on the TV as a young guy?
Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've had a chance to really see some of the best LSU offenses from when you started tuning in.
Yes, sir.
Whether it be Coach Hankton at an LSU or, I mean, any of these other schools, you may have hit on it some in terms of your confidence, your ability to go up and get the ball. But what do you hope that when they finish either watching your highlight reel or finish having a conversation with you, what do you hope that they walk away knowing about, all right, here's who Kenny Darby is as a player, maybe to come play for our program, as well as here's who Kenny Darby is as a young man who's going to be a part of this family if we can get him to come here?
I want them to know that I'm outside of the football game, I'm a good person, and I'm a good person, like I'm ready.
Yeah, good person. And then when it comes time to flip the lights on, you're going to go up and get the ball.
Okay, yes, sir.
Anything else you want to kind of talk about for folks that are getting a chance to learn a little bit more about you for the first time?
That'll be it.
Good deal. Well, Kenny, thank you again, man, for your time, and certainly congrats on where everything is right now, and looking forward to what's ahead over these next few weeks and next few years.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got it. Again, he's Kenny Darby, 2026 wide receiver for Airline High. Going to be one of the top recruits in this 2026 class for Louisiana as well. And for Louisiana versus all y'all, Jared Roser.